Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Marana and Oro Valley Experience. Today, we have an awesome show in store for you. We're going to be talking about social media, tips and tricks, food marketing on social media and the power of it and why it is such a great tool. And the person that's going to join me to do that today is Marielle Ceniceros, who is Foodie Bee Media. Some of you have seen her. She's been involved with many programs in the area. Discover Marana, Visit Tucson, just to name a few. And she's very active with some local restaurants in the area. And we're going to get into recommendations of new restaurants in the area. And we'll talk about how to utilize brand visibility and different things like that. And before we get going here, let me get your little mic a little close. There you go. So, Marielle, thanks for joining us today. It's good to have you back here in the studio.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I don't think I've been on a podcast back in the day when we first started.
That was, I don't want to say hot mess, but we were brand new to the whole thing. So
it was all learning. And so were we. I mean, we were looking, and I sent Clint a picture of the studio. It was still white, but we had hung some of the foam and different things, and it was 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago.
Congrats to you guys, because you all have come such a long way and you're doing so much and it looks great in here. And
thanks.
Yeah, I'm very happy for you.
We're having fun. Good. Foodie Bee Media. So you're very active on social media. We follow a lot of the stuff you do. And people may ask, well, what is a media company doing bringing on another media person? But in the world we live in today, there's collaborations and all kinds of stuff that can happen with everybody, because everybody doesn't cover all the things, right? There's so many pieces of social media and digital advertising, which we specialize in. A lot of people don't realize is, they're always like, oh, you guys are just a live streaming, you guys just do podcasts. And it's like, actually, that's not really what we do as the bread and butter. It's digital advertising and digital marketing. And that's how we built this whole thing. It's how we got the money to build this. Now we use this as a platform to get out news, information, share stuff about tourism, and get people to go to restaurants, people to go to stores and have fun in the area. And that's what has grown from that. And then there's the social media component of things, right? Which we do a little bit of it, but it's not like the thing that we dive into is the full-fledged company specialization, but it takes a lot, and there's a lot of creators in the area that do different things. The reason I wanted to invite you on is because here's the big thing, and this isn't to knock the other ones. If you get offended, that it's on you. You have skin in the game, and we talk about that a lot on our shows. We talk about it a lot in meetings. And skin in the game, for those who don't know, is you have everything to lose when you're doing something and creating something, investing time to help serve the clients, but also you got to make a living. And you're running a business, and you actually run a business on the side, which we'll get into, which is really awesome. And that's why it brings me to the point of skin in the game, right? So we're talking to a person that's doing this, who's running a business, and this is another business you run. So you're an entrepreneur, you're a serial entrepreneur. And I think that speaks volumes in regards to the creator world, right? There's a lot of folks that just, they work a full-time job and then they do it on the side, and it's a whole different experience when you have everything in it. So let's talk about what you're doing with Foodie Bee Media and why.
Agreed. Yeah. So it is under the same media umbrella, but I would say you and I do completely different things. Like you said, you guys are advertising, and I'm doing more social media content as a whole. And I am a restaurant owner as well. So yes, I do have skin in the game, and I know what it's like to struggle as a small business and a restaurant, and I'm able to have this unique perspective to see both sides of it. So yeah, I think that's definitely what sets me apart.
Yeah. What made you want to get into this?
So Foodie Bee Media started in 2014 as a blog. It was just for fun. A food outlet that shall not be named didn't hire me for food writing, and so I thought, I'm going to do it on my own. And I did, and it evolved into this media company. I started doing social media for Blacktop Grill, our restaurant, and then the neighboring restaurants started asking my husband about who's doing our media and will they do mine, and then eventually it just evolved into a job.
That's really cool. So they saw your content and they're like, "Hey, can you refer who's doing that to
That's
help us
exactly what
out?"
happened. Yeah, my husband said, "Well, it's my wife. She just kind of does it for fun." And they said, "Well, can we hire her?"
Yeah.
And that's how this began.
So it shows value, right?
Mhm.
And to understand that value, we got to talk about it a little bit. So what's the value in doing social media, for instance, for a restaurant?
Mhm.
What does that do? Why do you do it?
So, social media is, you want to think of it as your digital storefront. People are going to enter this digital storefront before they even walk through your doors. They're going to check online to see the menu. They're going to look at the reviews. They're going to look at the photos. It's a storefront that's open 24/7. So, that's the importance of having social media for a restaurant. We're not just posting pretty pictures and pretty reels, we are creating cravings.
Right. It's cost effective too.
Yes.
So
Well,
that
it can be
it can be.
if you do it organically, which I do.
Yeah, you do.
Hmm.
And we talk about the cost effectiveness of it, right? And one thing you can say is, all right, do we pull somebody in full time on staff, right? So now you got somebody that's here 40 hours a week, got benefits, gets real expensive.
Hmm.
Or you can say, hey, you know what? Can you guys do the social media program for us? Or somebody gets hired, right? You get hired, and your pricing is probably not going to be what that $65,000 a year job would be, right? So there's a cost effective use to having a contracted social media person involved.
Someone outsourced.
Yeah.
Yep.
But also, too, I don't know how it is for you, but usually when we work with somebody, we say, hey, you need to be doing stuff on your own, though. Still. Like, don't depend on just this one thing.
Okay.
Like for us, we always say, like, hey, even if you have a person helping or you have this program going on, still go post something. You know what I mean? Specifically, something that's authentic.
Yes.
Right? Because, we'll get into it, but I've been seeing things about how authenticity is becoming a huge thing now, right? You had all the fun influencer, look at me thing, but now I'm hearing people are really wanting to see that authentic group that's involved with the brand, and it's something we'll dive into. But we talk about cost effective, but the other thing is customer engagement, right? You said it's the digital storefront. It literally is. So if, I know my wife and I, when we go and look for something new, or we're like, hey, what do you want to eat this weekend? Because we always try to hit something local or find something different. We don't want, because we're pretty routine at home with the diet and different things, but we go on social media and we look up spots. All right, I'm looking for a Sonoran dog, or I'm looking for a good steak from a local spot. And then you get your results and you can see these different things. So I'm seeing visually something, right? And when someone's wanting to see something visually, they usually want it to look pleasing and look delicious and yummy or something worth their time. And that's the importance of it. So once you have the digital storefront built, here comes the next part, which is customer engagement. Now, why is that important?
I think customer service is going to be the most important thing out of anything. It's going to trump everything. If you go on there and you see terrible reviews, it's going to make you question whether you want to go in there, especially if it comes to customer service. So I think it's just one of the most important things, and that's what should be the focal point, really, of any business, not just restaurants.
Yeah, it's so true about that. I'm going to tell you, I'll be fully transparent. This weekend, we had a quick change up in schedule. So family was going to come into town. So we needed to grab something quick for like lunch or whatever. And it was still pretty early, but it's, everything, there was places open. So we placed an order online through their app at a particular place here in town. And it wasn't a local thing. And we're open. It says they're open. We pull in and we're open. There's, all over, it's over off of, Linda Vista and Thornydale. So if you guys can figure this out, I wrote a review. So we get there and the door's locked and there's nobody even in the store.
No way. And you paid online already?
Paid online and everything already. But I dropped the ball. I didn't look at reviews of this particular franchise. And there was a bunch of reviews saying like these guys don't come in, they don't come in on time. They don't. It takes forever to get your pizza. Blah 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 blah. And it's Little Caesars, by the way. Just never open. We're there 20 minutes after they open. It's like 10 a.m. and they just never opened, and they didn't care, nothing, right? Like when I think about the local places here and stuff that they do customer service wise, that would never happen.
No. Corporations have the luxury of being able to not care because, they're already having like an inflow of business and have everything set. And they have the luxury of not caring about one customer. Small businesses do not. We get a bad review, it keeps me up at night. It's that serious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's and now, that story is to explain I missed it. I missed using
the digital storefront,
social media to filter where we were going to go, right? And thankfully they have another location down on this side of Thornydale that no problem.
Yeah. That one is seamless and it's beautiful.
yeah,
I will say that.
The one on Linda Vista and Thornydale, I don't know what's going on there. If you guys want to come on the show and talk about how you didn't show up to work that day, by all means, go ahead and give us a call or write us an email.
Yeah, I think it's just different with local places, and especially here. I mean, it's almost like you're investing. You're not just going out to eat somewhere. You're gathering, you're supporting. You are building community when you support local restaurants here in Marana.
Yeah. So here, let's talk scenario here. Okay, so I'm a young, aspiring content creator, and I'm looking for tips on how to post, what I should be thinking about when I'm creating the content, what's important, and strategy. How do I find data to put together a strategy?
I have 6 tips, and I thought about these a lot. Should I go down the line?
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
All right.
Yeah.
So the number one is going to be consistency. You're going to want to post daily. It's good to batch content, but you also want to leave that room for creativity. Number 2, you want to have good lighting. No one's going to watch a video that's dim or dark or you can't make out what's happening. So good lighting is always important. And I shoot everything through iPhone. It doesn't have to be fancy. I just have different gadgets that I attach to the iPhone.
What iPhone do you have? Do you have a Pro?
The brand newest. Yeah.
The brand newest Pro.
The brand newest. I had the 12 forever, and the pictures weren't picturing. Something was wrong. And when I upgraded it, that's what it was. So for me, in this line of work, this is a vital tool. So yeah. Tip 3, you want to have your face on camera. And it's uncomfortable, and we all hate being on camera, and no one wants to do it. But people want to see other people, and people want to see eyeballs. Eyeballs want to see other eyeballs, and that's the best way to connect digitally with other people. And if you don't feel comfortable using, your face on camera, you can always do a voiceover. That's a good way to do it too. And then engaging is important because if you're liking, commenting, sharing other people's content, they're going to do the same with yours. It's like a reciprocal thing. You don't just want to throw your content out and have it be like a bulletin board. It should be something that you engage in, kind of like a conversation. And then tip 5 is to let go of that feeling of being cringy and to be just confident and comfortable, even though it can be uncomfortable, and it is. Mm-hmm. And then my last tip is to have a variety of content. You can't really be posting the same thing all the time. I think people get tired of that too.
Yeah. Like fatigue
of
the same stuff.
Like, oh, here's another hot dog photo. Let's do something else.
I don't mind that at all. Just to let you know, you post that all day, I'll still like that or share that.
Yeah, so those are my 6 tips.
And so you said something cool is like the gear you're talking about isn't too expensive.
No, not
right?
at all.
Just to because we're just talking about getting started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all come across these creators online that have like $10,000 cameras and all that stuff and everything. And like we have some high grade cameras but they're for specific projects, and in all transparency, they don't get used as much as these right here.
You let me borrow one of your cameras, and then I brought it right back, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'll just use my iPhone.
Yeah, and it's like, I have Adobe Lightroom on my phone, and like you can take pictures and make them look just like they came out of a good Canon or
Yeah. So I would say simplicity. Keep it simple. That's another tip that's not on the list, but definitely something that,
Yeah.
we should implement.
And then if you do need that next level, like you work on building a relationship with somebody, you can then bring in on your project yourself, right? Like, and and I think that's something that I see a lot is people are very territorial online. I don't know if it's because they're just schmucks or if they're just like afraid of something or what, but it's like, if you have a need and you know somebody that you can work with, like you can still work that project, have your element in it, but also bring in something else.
I love outsourcing. I will do that with photographers all day long. Shout out to Marana Photography. I call her whenever I need beautiful, food and wine-esque photos. That's who I'm going to call. And it's beyond my niche, and she uses a real camera, and it's great. And I think part of that goes back to maybe there's like a lack mentality. There's competition and people get
insecurity.
weird.
I don't know.
People get weird about it. But I'm very much under the belief that the sun shines for everyone and that there's plenty of opportunities for us all creators.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, it's all about working in relationships. We talk about that all the time, So we're talking about the content creation, and we often have to take something and fine tune the product, right? The picture, the video, and that usually requires software, apps, different things. What are your top editing apps? Are they free? Are you paying for them? What do you have? What are your top?
I use a lot of Canva for graphics, and I pay the pro for that one. And then I use a lot of CapCut as well, and that one I also do the pro account. And then my photo editing I just do on iPhone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't have like the fancy Adobe or anything like that. I have Lightroom, but it's complicated. I just like the simplicity of being able to edit a photo right away.
Yeah, I cheat on Lightroom, and but it was just time. It was time consuming to build it, but I found it's like 10 presets that I used from the user community, and I like tweaked them a little bit, and I saved them.
Okay.
So like they all apply to a specific time, what the mood is or whatever, and I go and
love that.
I just do that. That's a little tip I have. I'm not doing it as much as you do.
Yeah.
I do a lot of more operational stuff, and I still try to be creative because I just have to sometimes.
It's fun.
I mean, I'm like, I gotta go do something, but
I think with food it's different because I don't know, every single dish is different. The lighting is different. Sometimes the mood of a pasta plate will not necessarily translate on any of those apps. So it's a very individualized editing that I'm doing, and it's probably not the most time efficient, but I enjoy it. So that's how I do it.
where are you getting inspiration for your content? Are you making it up? Are you taking bits from different things you're seeing, and where are you getting that?
Definitely from other creators. I will go online and just see what's trending sometimes, trending sounds. But the food is inspiration enough because it's beautiful. And, a lot of these restaurants are doing different things every month, and every plate kind of has its own story, and it's cool.
So what does Foodie Bee Media bring to the local food scene? Right? So you've given us tips and tricks, and you're talking about apps and everything. Now, what does Foodie Bee Media bring to the local food scene? Because a lot of your stuff's local, right? So what are you bringing to the local food scene?
I think just support for local restaurants and maybe a little bit of community. I do collaborate with other influencers and other photographers, and I like to think of it as like just one big network of media and food. And I have other food creator friends, and we'll go to a restaurant and kind of share content. And I would say community and local support are the two major things that Foodie Bee Media is bringing.
So how does somebody use the tools and everything you've talked about effectively to the point where they could have a business doing it? How do they use it effectively? What should they be doing when they're putting together the posts and the social media? Are you scheduling? Are you doing calendars? How do you go about it, and what do you recommend?
I think the number one question there is going to be, how do I bring value? How do I share something that I love, or share something that this restaurant is trying to showcase? It's really about bringing value and not just wanting to be, posting for self benefit or just for, I don't know, self-interest. I think it's really about figuring out what that business needs and how you can share their story and how you can help. And from that, it's going to evolve into a natural content, I think.
Yeah. You keyed on something there important in storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes, I think everybody kind of misses that sometimes. Like there's a story to tell, whether it's a new menu item that's coming, there's an event that's coming up, the owner has a birthday, you have an employee that has a birthday,
a milestone.
Hey, we just hit the 10-year mark or whatever it is.
Yep.
But people genuinely love that.
Or it could be as simple as a sauce that you've been working on for so long and finally perfected it and finally put it on the menu, or the search for the perfect corn tortilla, which is something we experienced at Blacktop for those Vampiro tacos. We went through many different tortillas, and it wasn't until we went to South Tucson to find the right one that we implemented that taco. So yeah, it could be as simple as that.
Yeah, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
When you're posting and putting content out, are you using like any cross-platform apps? Like, are you using Meta Business Suite to cross-post?
I do have
or
the
using
Meta
Hootsuite or anything like that?
I do have the Meta Business Suite, and on occasion I will schedule in advance if I'm going out of town or something like that. But I'm probably not doing this right, but I post in real time depending on the weather, depending on my mood.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I know it's hard, right? I know, like, a lot of times there's sometimes you just, like you said, you got to schedule whether, or if the client wants that. But there is something to being able to be flexible and kind of pivot on the fly.
If there's a rainy day, I'm posting a chili or like a soup or like a warm clam chowder, something like that. If there's been like a national tragedy or something, that's a no content day, because no one wants to see a picture of a hot dog when there's been, like, I don't know, a shooting or something. So it's very much custom tailored to that day.
Yeah. I do that a lot.
You do.
I'm on the flyer.
Yeah.
Like,
and maybe it's not efficient, right? But it just works.
So I did a video on Marana and Oro Valley experience at the new Del Rancho. Yeah. And my wife's like, hey, let's go get some steak. And then I was like, hey, I'm just going to take some video real quick. And I literally shot the video and I edited it. I had it done in 5 minutes. Yep. And it's almost at 200,000 views.
It was a great reel. I shared it.
And I was like, like, and then there's some, we talk about, there's some you spend a lot of time on. You're like, all right, the lighting perfect. And I got to do this and that. And then it just goes. Whew. Yep. And then same thing. I did a video at Big Dogs. Super quick. I showed a Chicago dog and, somebody holding a sandwich.
Yeah. Well, your wife was in that too.
She was in both of them. Yes. So I told her, I was like, hey, it might be your face.
It's her beautiful face. And the food looked great too, the colors. And yeah, I think people find that attractive. But
it's just a little story, right? It's like you just went in and you got your food. And I mean, it's nothing. It frustrates me sometimes. I don't know about you, but like, you'll work hard on a piece of content and you're like, oh, yeah,
and then nobody cares.
Or the algorithm doesn't care. It's like,
I just talked about this on TikTok because TikTok is new for me. I don't love it.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. And here's what it is about TikTok. They want raw, unfiltered content. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be curated. They just want, it's like feeding a monster. That's what TikTok is. It just wants you to pump out the content. So I have a hard time with that because I like things beautifully curated and pretty and good lighting and all the things. So I'm trying on TikTok to just post whatever.
It's like full on, like, authentic there, I guess you would say. Yep. I struggle with TikTok. I have a couple with like 1 million or 2 million. And it's so weird. I have like 710 followers, but I have almost 300,000 likes.
Amazing.
And it's because I only had like 2 videos go super cool, like super viral, but everything else has been kind of whatever. But
are we old? We might be old because TikTok is just a younger generation thing too.
Yeah, it may just be that. But it's one of those platforms that we've started using it quite a bit over the last year with the company, and we've seen some really good interaction and increase on stuff.
Yep. And it's been all the behind the scenes stuff you guys have done, I'm sure.
Yeah, behind the scenes, but also actually what's blown up the most, we had 124,000 views just in 1 week, and
Wow.
it's just from the show content
Great.
just being cut up
Yeah.
and put out. And it's like there's no music. It's just literally the
Yeah.
conversation. Folks are gonna see us talking
Yeah.
on TikTok, I'm sure, about this today.
Well,
But-
we're used to putting in effort, so this effortless thing is, it feels like garbage to us. But
and not only that, so we use AI for all the cutting up and everything.
That's
So we
great.
just, after the show, we take it, put it in the platform, and it distributes it to every platform we want it to go to, and it cuts it up to the highest scoring thing. Before, you had to like take the file and you had to cut it and go, is this good? Add the captions and all that. And now it's not perfect. It doesn't get it right every time, but it does. It's insane.
yeah, that's another hack to AI. Don't be afraid of it. Start dipping your toe into that pool of AI.
Yeah.
A lot of the captions that I write are AI. I'm not that quick. AI does it, quickly.
Oh, it's a game changer.
It is.
Yeah, if you're listening and you're like still in that weird spot if you're going to use AI or not, you have to.
Yeah.
Or you're like
You're gonna fall behind.
You're going to fall behind. It's going to be hard to get a job to do and to do this. I mean, now let's talk about, right? We're here in social media. You've already disclosed that you're using AI. Like it's not to replace your work. It's to create an environment where you can get better.
It's
That's
to
what
enhance.
yeah,
it's to enhance your work.
Yeah, I think of like the AI, the software we use for cutting up all the videos. It freed up a lot of time. And some people are like, oh, well, replace some jobs. Maybe, right? Maybe. But if we get people on staff later on that know how to use that software, every time it's going to have a multiplying factor on the production. And it's like, see that first as opposed to, oh man, you know what I mean? Like,
Again, it's about the quickness and it's about feeding that monster.
yeah.
Just pumping out that content quick.
Yeah. You know, the show that was on before us, Chris and his brother, they were talking about social media and all the bad things that can happen, which are totally true, right? I was a school resource officer and dealt with social media. Most of my work my first year was dealing with social media and people using it the wrong way. But then I got in the business of using it the right way here. You know what I mean? Like you see it all bad here, but you can do it in so many cool ways and promoting and transferring, converting the content into sales or, people in the door, right? There's a reason people use this. It's not because, they're bored and they're going to put time and energy into feeding. You talk about feeding the machine. Once you start, you can't pull back, right?
Yep.
And we had a conversation with a possible client a week ago. And, we talked about like the benefits of keeping content flowing the whole year, right? Like how actually that's really important because it keeps everybody primed and ready for when that moment comes. You just got to stay at it.
Yeah.
It sucks, but if you incorporate tools like AI, it makes it a little easier, I would say.
Absolutely. And I know exactly what client you're talking about. And I have thought this many times, by the way.
They're awesome, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's get into a couple more things here. So I've seen some back and forth with this, with creators online, and it is best posting times for engagement. And then the other one was hashtags, using trending hashtags. Are those still important in today's algorithm?
I still do it. And I don't know if it's important or if it's right or not, but I have limited the amount of hashtags. It went from like 20 hashtags to maybe 5. And I think that's plenty. As far as times to post, I feel like it's all a farce. You could just post whenever you want because we are on our phones all day. People are doom scrolling at all hours. It doesn't really matter. But I like posting either first thing in the morning or around dinner time because in my mind, I feel like that's when people are chilling.
Yeah. The one I posted on the Marana Oro Valley experience, the Gana Seria. It was on a Sunday at like 1 or 2.
Okay.
No, it was later. Sunday at 5.
Okay, see, that's prime couch time. Sunday at 5.
Yeah, but on the data, that wouldn't, the data I had said no.
No.
So, but I was just like, you know what? I was like you. I just got to get this done. Like this was a cool.
Just put it out.
I'm just gonna do it, and I used CapCut.
Yep.
Right, gone.
Here's another thing too. I think people overthink content all the time. Just get it out there. Just post it. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Doesn't matter if it's not the right time. Just put it out there and stop overthinking it.
Yeah, be kind. Be nice, man. Gosh, everybody. There's some mean stuff that comes out every once in a while.
Oh no, just block them. Yeah, I'm not going to give energy to any mean comments.
Yeah. There's this other thing too that I had noted because I wanted to talk about this. I'm glad I remembered this one. You know what? We'll say that we'll talk about this one. This one's really important. It's interesting. We'll talk about this one after the sponsorship break. We'll be right back.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve, through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
All right, and we're back. And thank you for our media partner, the Marana Chamber of Commerce, for placing their sponsorship on the show. And you're part of the chamber.
Yeah,
you do a little thing, huh?
bit,
You're in all kinds of stuff.
I
man.
do everything.
You can say it. You're on the board.
Shout out.
It's honestly, it's probably the best thriving chamber in the area.
I love being a part of the Marana Chamber of Commerce so much. And shout out to Amanda and the ladies. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, they're awesome. I went to that event we went to last week. Just the energy.
Oh my God, did you cry? We all cried.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's funny too, because I'll disclose, I was a little late buying the tickets. So yeah, I caused somebody a little extra work, and I'm going to apologize to her when I see her again. But yeah, it was sold out.
Yes.
And we were like, oh.
So I might have been
I put myself on the wait list. Yeah, you were on it too. I was on the wait.
I do that a lot. So thank you, Manu, for squeezing us in.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. Didn't forget about you. I knew that you did extra work because I was a little tardy on that. But it just came out of nowhere. Like I was like, yeah, we should, and then we got to talking, and then we got sidetracked. And it was like, hey, we're going to this, right? And it's like, oh yeah. So we're gonna go to another chamber thing up in Chandler in September.
Amazing.
It's supposed to like their biggest event thing out there, because we're gonna start moving some stuff up there and do some client work up there.
Very cool.
So, but
I love it. But yeah, the chamber's cool, and congrats to Aldo and El Gusto Coffee for winning that Taste of Marana award. It was beautiful.
It was cool. It was really, really cool. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about coming back. I gotta stop messing around. I'm running out of time. So this is a note I have. It says consumer behavior is shifting toward social discovery. And off air, we were going, okay, what does that mean in the world that we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of agreed that it's more, the platforms are starting to work more as a search engine.
Mm-hmm. And again, this is why hashtags are important. If I'm taking a trip to Chicago, the first thing I'm going to do is search hashtag Chicago and see all of the beautiful pictures that pop up on social media. And I do this on Pinterest too. Pinterest is kind of underrated as far as like the social media and media apps. But yeah, I'm not sure people are going directly to Google anymore and searching, I don't know, Chicago.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a move towards, well, Google's already starting to work into that a little bit, but I think you're going to see like your major AI platforms start selling, if they already haven't, I'm sure maybe I'm a little behind, they probably already have, but they're going to start selling placement on searches like Google does.
Mm-hmm.
So like people can pay for certain words to pop up in different things
Definitely.
instead of focusing on the organic content and the views and how
Yep.
well it did.
I think they're already doing that with like a business account.
Yeah.
There's more perks to a business account, but then you also have to pay for advertising on a business account.
Yeah. In the influencer world or social media, what do you see is the biggest, guess you would say, let's talk about like a realness to it. Like, what's the biggest issue with what you're seeing in the creator world as far as like how behaviors are involved, how ego may be a problem? What are you seeing and what do you think would be like a good way to approach some of this stuff? And listeners and viewers probably going, why is he asking that?
Mm.
I'm asking it because it's real. It's a real thing that everybody, a lot of people see certain things. I've seen some people make comments like, why does a organization think a influencer will work for, tickets to stay the night at the hotel and that's it? Why do they think that that's, and then, we've gotten proposals from influencers because we've worked with some and, some are like, $3,500 for one video. And then some are like $600 for a video. And then some are, some are like, yeah, just buy me a ticket to dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The reason I bring this up is because I kind of want to hash this out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I want your insight on it because you're in it.
Mhm.
And then I just kind of want to share from a company like ours, our perspective on it.
Mhm.
So what do you feel about that? How do you feel about the influencer market going into, and we could talk about, this is like just hyper local, right? We'll just talk about the local thing. How do you feel about it going into this next year? If you were king for a day, how would you advise to improve for individuals, or what would you do?
I think there's this mentality right now that influencing is not a job or that creating content is not a real job. And that's just the biggest misconception. We are creators. We're putting our time, our energy, our effort, our love, sweat, and tears into this content that we're creating, and we deserve to be compensated for it. Now, if you want to go in and do content in exchange for a meal, and that's your choice, great. But really, restaurants should be paying the creators, and the creators should be profiting monetarily.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're when we do projects and stuff, we take care of folks. Like it happens. It's there's currency exchange.
Yes.
There's business happening, right?
Yes.
Here's my perspective, and they're my partners and stuff. This is just David talking. If David expressing my thoughts and opinion on that, even though nobody asked. But the issue comes up when I see that kind of post, like, oh, you need to be treating us like a business and all this stuff. Well, you need to act like a business.
100%.
First off,
you better
right?
deliver. Yeah.
So the fact that, and I've seen it firsthand, and I'm not mad, I'm not frustrated or anything, but when I see a post come out like that, and I've seen the person I've seen the person go do something for significantly cheaper, if it not anything, just because they feel that maybe the brand they're working with is really cool and that they'll, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they have something else going on, but I've seen somebody like come in and try to charge us $3,500, but then I've seen them work with somebody else for a high five. Right? So it's like, when you talk about wanting to be a business, well, you gotta, instead of saying the word, you gotta practice the word.
Sure.
And I think the market for influencers, until there's like an effort to find like a baseline for everybody.
Yep.
I think it's always going to be just this really weird area as far as like hiring and stuff for influencers.
Sure. It's a little bit weird and it's a little bit muddy right now.
Because, we've done a couple projects where we're like, do we want to, bring these influencers in? And then we talk to we've talked to the clients that we have and we're like, hey, what was your experience with influencers? Not good.
No.
Right. And it's not saying that all of it in a whole isn't good. It's just saying their experience when they tried doing things was not good.
Sure. Even the word influencer, I don't love that. I like the word creator because we're creating content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing too, is like, I've seen videos from smaller creators go really well, and I've seen videos from bigger creators not do well. And so you're faced with these challenges, right? So let's talk about the viewership challenges, and then the other challenge is like the instability of the market, right? Because it is a market. If people are going to go, hey, this is a business, we expect these things, but then when time comes to play that market, which comes back to skin in the game. You know, that they fold under something that's really just not what they were preaching as far as what they want to happen with the market.
Sure. And at that point, you have to look at metrics and see exactly the numbers on a post or the numbers on a reel. But, you know, just because someone's not engaging or liking something doesn't mean they don't see it.
Right.
You've seen this. We have 500 views on stories and 2 likes. People are still watching.
There's a picture that Gary Vee posted, I think it was like last month, and he was like, don't get tied up in the optics of all that. He's like, if you post something and it has 500 views, this is what 500 people looks like. And he posted the room with 500 people. He's like, that's what saw that.
Exactly.
So and it's funny too, like I've even seen posts that we have or stuff that we'll have that goes out that has a couple hundred or, you know, 400 or 500 views or something. And somebody out in public says something about that post. Hey, I saw that, and you're like, okay, cool. Like it worked.
Yeah.
So even though it was just the 500, it reached 500 people that watched and engaged it and all that.
And they didn't necessarily like it or comment or post because, you know, we get lazy and we don't always want to do that, but people are watching.
Yeah.
Yep.
So going back to the influencer thing, I think, you know, perspective wise, I think a lot of issues can be, I guess I wouldn't say issues, but the instability of the market could be fixed if you had folks that they dived into a little more than just the influencer part and like partnered with certain organizations or really stuck to their guns.
Some kind of coalition of sorts. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a union guy.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it's just maybe an understanding of like, hey, where is the value on it? And until we can figure that out, I think you're always going to kind of have this messy space. It's almost like when we've dealt with working with influencers, it's almost like being on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's just interesting. I mean, we have our core that we're like, yes, this person, again, this comes back to work ethic, mentality, character,
skin in the game.
Yeah. We have like our core that we're like, hey, if something comes up, we're gonna go for sure. This person's like in because they've done great work and they're on time. That's another problem. Being on time with the project.
That's a given.
Like that kind of stuff. And
the delivery time on a project needs to be less than 7 days. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
For content creation. Waiting 3 weeks.
So that's your advice for your like.
That's another chunk, yeah. If it's taking you 3 weeks to get one reel out, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also will tell you from the restaurant perspective, if I'm reaching out to an influencer or a creator, I'm expecting to pay them. By the way, the people that come in to create content in the restaurant because they've reached out and want to do a meal or just an exchange, then that's different. But if I'm the one pursuing the creator, I'm going to pay them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But there are people, again, that just want to come in and, you know, try the new menu or whatnot, and that's great too.
And then there's people that like genuinely, like for instance, I went in there and I just shot a video. I was like, oh, this place is cool. I'm going to post it on there. Like just... You know, a lot of people sometimes go, well, why do you guys do that? You know, and it's like, well, it's content. Yeah. It's fun. It gets people in the door.
And you don't know how much a small business appreciates that, truly. We love when you guys tag us and mention us and leave the great reviews.
It's free.
It makes our day. It makes our day. And it's so easy and it's so simple.
Yeah, it's free marketing. And then there's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of positives in the business aspect of going into that place and saying, hey, you guys, did you see that video? And they're like, yeah, we did. well, hey, we were the ones that shot that.
Yeah.
We came in here and they're like, oh, thank you so much.
Sure.
Right now, you built a relationship to work with, and it's
After
like,
that video, I went to the Del Rancho Carniceria actually.
see,
So
boom.
yeah, you influenced.
There we go. There it is. So yeah, that's another thing, and I think, you know, you talk about a video like that comes that territorial thing. You know what I mean? Of like competition and other stuff. It's like, no, stop.
No.
So I would say, in regards to what I asked about the influencer thing, stick to your guns. Don't fold.
Have a set price. Be professional and have a quick turnaround time.
Yeah. It's okay to get rejected. I mean, that's the reality of things. And I think, but I would see, I know what you do, and you don't just stick to one thing. Like, you have different variables in your business model that keep revenue streams coming. So focusing on one thing, I think there's other ways you have to
definitely
to find out those. So, well, thanks for providing that feedback on it. Sounds like we're pretty
aligned
on what we were thinking and what we were seeing. Because I feel like it's always been like an elephant in the room.
Sure.
It's just, even like, some of the people we work with, like some other, I know a guy that owns a marketing agency, and we'll talk about this pretty often. And it was to the point where it was like, we're like, hey, let's just like not do anything with one for a while. Like, let's just do stuff on our own and see, you know, and it was because of just the weird conversations and expectations. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, I think cohesiveness and collaboration would be something good for that space.
And aside from views and followers, which are great, there's a lot of value in being a reliable person.
Just in life.
Just in life, but in business, like just being reliable and like doing what you said you're going to do and putting it into
showing up is like 90%, and especially on time.
Being consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, you said that. I mean, that's when a lot of people is like, oh man, you know, I'm a nobody, by the way. I'm just here hanging out and talking about social media. So yeah, that's pretty much all. You covered everything I wanted to ask. So you brought something here. What is this?
So I brought you a little wellness kit, just a little skincare. I wasn't sure if we were going to talk about skinology.
Am I looking rough?
And then
like
I have
the desert?
my recommendations, restaurant recommendations.
Yes,
too.
that's going to be the cornerstone.
Okay.
So before we get into the recommendations, I want people to know that Marielle owns an awesome spot back here in the same plaza called Skinology. Oh, look at this.
Skincare, a little SPF,
Wellness kit.
a little hydration, a little chamomile tea.
Okay. You know my wife's going to steal this, right?
I'm sure, yeah.
You pretty much got this from my wife because she's going to jack it. Oh, so awesome. I was using some stuff from you. I got to get back on that because I tried not using anything, and now I'm like
dry.
Wrinkles are all back. And
so we're all like dry lizard people here in Arizona. So hydration's super important, and we're segueing into skincare now, but it's two very different things, food and skincare. But I thought about this, and the one thing that brings it together is that I'm ultimately, you know, the thread that connects it is connection. Because with Foodie Bee Media, I'm connecting people to restaurants, connecting people to dishes. And with Skinology, I'm connecting people to experiences and self-care and confidence. So that's like the thread connection.
Let everybody know where you're located, because I couldn't do the show without giving you the plug. Come on.
Yeah, please. Skinology, Skin and Body Studio is located at, what is my address?
4200 block of Ina.
There you go. 4249 West Ina Road in the same complex as LTD Media. And we do facials, waxing, lash art, all the things for beauty.
Good. And we are in the same plaza, but don't try walking in because the door will probably be locked.
Yeah, by appointment only. Don't be creepy. Don't be creepy.
Don't be doing that. Okay, so here comes the big moment. The recommendations.
Yeah.
Okay. People are always asking, looking for new stuff, looking for the good old recommendations.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. I tell everybody, even being in this business, word of mouth is still king.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, people will share and testify to how great you are or how bad you are. And it is the defining factor in success. So
absolutely.
You being in social media and doing food and posting deliciousness all the time, there's often occasions we're going to eat because like we scheduled that business lunch we had because of a post. I was like, we gotta go.
At Dominic's?
Yeah. It was like that's where we're doing this.
I'm creating the cravings.
And the guys that came were like way across town. And we were like, hey, you gotta come eat this with
I love
us.
it.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, so give us your recommend. How many you got?
There's 12.
Dang. Okay.
So
let's do it.
Actually, there's 16 because you told me to go. You didn't tell me to go, but you wanted to talk about the new food spots in Marana.
Yes. Well, we got to. I mean, there's a
Yes.
lot of effort into the growth of this place.
Absolutely. And I love that Marana is having its food moment because you just, you're seeing all of these things that are coming in and they all deserve the love. And the number one place was the Del Rancho Carniceria and Tacos. Great carne asada. We had great birria, really good beans and rice, and they have the beautiful salsa bar. And it's also obviously a carniceria, so you can buy your meat there, which is super helpful. The second new place that I tried was the Big Dogs after the post. And I went and I got an Italian beef because that's what they specialize in. It was good. It's a good Italian beef. I would recommend you order it dry and then bring the au jus on the side. If not, it's going to be a mush when you get to where you need to go. I actually ate it with a fork because it was like so juicy. It was good. And on that, I ordered both the sweet and the hot peppers.
Beautiful.
And then we went to Umo, which is the same family that owns Amelia's. So you kind of already know that they're going to be great. And it was really good. We had sopes. They have a great green sauce. The place is tiny. You can't bring like 20 of your friends there. It's really small, but it was really good. Yeah, so those were the 3 new ones that I tried.
Yeah.
And then the other 12 is like the places we go to all the time.
Give it to us.
Quick?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jade Garden is my number one for Chinese food.
Dang,
And
I haven't been there in a while. I need to go there.
Jade Garden is my number one. There is no other Chinese food on this side of town that's as good as Jade Garden.
You know what I do? There's one I do go to pretty often.
You told me about this and I don't agree.
And I think it was tied to like my career at the time.
Yes.
But Lin Nam.
I think we went there once a long time ago, but I'll have to revisit it.
Yeah.
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 But no, Jade Garden's the number one. The duck with the plum sauce. That's my go-to.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Duck with plum sauce. Good
Yep.
to know.
And
Write that
then,
down.
write it down. Again, I have a whole list and I'm going to send this so that you guys can just post it as is.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sushi Garden is on top for us as far as sushi goes. And I love the Baja jalapeno roll and the Spanish roll there. The Baja jalapeno it's got like a line of jalapenos on top. It's spicy, but it's so good. And then Papaul's, the Greek food. We always get the gyro platter with the tzatziki sauce. And then right down the way here, Chicken Nuevo.
Yeah.
You guys been to Chicken
Yes.
Nuevo?
I've walked over there several times.
It's so underrated. They have the best roast chicken, great salsa, great tortillas.
They got that salsa bar.
Yeah.
Man.
I haven't actually been in. I think we did like a Uber Eats once.
Yeah.
Just wanted some roast chicken. But that place doesn't get enough love. So shout out to Chicken Nuevo. El Molinito, right down the way. We do shredded beef there. Sometimes I'll just pick up like a quart of shredded beef and some guac, and that's dinner. Up the way over on Orange Grove, Tuan Kiao, the Vietnamese place.
Mm-hmm.
We love getting our pho there. And then they have egg rolls and spring rolls and fresh coconut water. So it's definitely a go-to. And then, of course, Dominic's, for all of the things, the different monthly features. My favorite dish there is probably the seafood risotto, though.
Yeah, be careful going to Dominic's because it's addicting.
Yeah.
Like you're just going to...
That seafood risotto, though, it's so rich
I gotta get
and
that.
so delicious. You better share it, though, because it's kind of a lot. And then desserts-wise, this one's kind of a hidden one, but they have an affogato. Have you had that before?
No, I don't even... What is that?
Okay, so it's a beautiful little teacup with a scoop of gelato, and then they put espresso over it. And you just
caffeine?
eat it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you just eat it with a spoon. And then Twin Peaks Pizzeria obviously is a smaller version of Dominic's, same owner, but they just got this new sandwich. I've only posted one photo of the sandwich. It's kind of hard to photograph a sandwich, but it's called the Poblano sandwich.
Oh, yes.
And it's got a garlic aioli in it. It's the perfect sandwich, and you don't have to make it. You just pick it up. So that's the best part. And then over on this side of town too, Taco Rico the food truck. They've had to move because of the taco place there.
I'm
But
glad they moved.
I know. I feel so bad for them, but they're amazing and they're family owned and they're so sweet and they have great food. So in the food truck realm, shout out to Taco Rico. And then, of course, I can't do a foodie list without mentioning the Blacktop Grill last.
Yes.
So the Vampiro tacos, we're known for the hot dogs, the street corn, the taquitos, the house-made sauces, the vegan menu, and then the quesadillas. And we're adding a new food menu, a food item on the menu that I'm not allowed to say, but I'm going to say it because I'm so excited.
Woo, let's go.
So we went on this trip to Alaska. We're bringing back the fish and chips.
Okay.
And so right now we're working on a chipotle tartar sauce for the fish and chips. And we were inspired by this, just going to Alaska and trying all this like cool seafood. So it's not on the menu yet, but talking about it is going to put pressure on Gabe to get it on there. So
That's great.
yeah.
Dang, that's a great list. So
That's
yeah,
the
we'll
list.
make sure we get it up there. And thank you so much for joining us today. That was a quick hour, huh?
Yeah, it was. Thank you so
we
much.
covered a lot. Is there anything that you want to cover that we didn't touch on? We got a couple more minutes.
Let's see. I guess just the points, right, for social media.
Yeah, let's cover them again. Yeah.
Social media is your storefront and it's open 24/7. So you really want to make sure your website and all of your things are up to par. Visibility is going to build trust and trust is going to build sales. So make sure you're consistent about your content. And consistency as well is going to beat perfection. So you just really want to post daily and not really worry about that perfection. And then also the great lighting is a given, and then a genuine story. People always love a genuine story, and the algorithm and people love authenticity, so just keeping it real.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much.
of course.
Thank you all for tuning into the live stream. And if you were not tuning in the live stream, you'll get to hear it in post-production. So thank you so much for following, subscribing, liking, share with your friends, family, even your foes if you want. It's always great for us to get more exposure and bring on awesome